Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by, thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. I think that you guys are very disingenuous. I think that you guys are hypocrites. I think that you guys are misleading, just as the accusations that are being laid against Masicka. I see Nico Fire and so many other persons, including vloggers, have come out and they have been speaking out against Masicka and all of this. And you are even going in depth and speaking about his background, his family, how he was raised, and then his songs are contrary, I should say, because he's talking about sleeping on floor when he never slept on any floor. His father owned this, that, and the third. My thing is that, didn't you know all of it? Didn't you know all along? Didn't you know all of this all along? Didn't I not just do a video and I was speaking on Masicka and I said that you can't be putting out so much bad song, but then you're acting as if you were raised well and you're not really about that life and you're a cool guy and you hang out and you drink coconut water and all of these type of things and you smile all day, every day. And you realize so many persons coming out and saying the same thing after. Not only that, I even incorporate the rapper Slim Jesus, who was about drill rapping, a white rapper, and he was about drill rapping. And then he came out and did an interview on Vlad and saying that he was raised in the suburbs. It's not about that life. It's just music, because people were willing to put him to the test. So he backpedaled. And upon backpedaling, he lost all credibility. People tried to test him when he went out in different states. He went there to perform. They tried to test him and they put him to the test, as what the game had said. And so that was what caused the flopping of his career. Now, we're seeing the same situation with Masicka. Only difference is that so many persons were speaking out. It seems as if you guys were privy to a lot of information about his background. I know what he was about all along. I remember years ago when Caledo clashed with him, and Caledo had said it, and I even quote it, that Caledo had said that, you know of him packing bags in a supermarket or doing something like that years ago. So he doesn't know when since he became a bad man, or when he was about that, when since he was about that life. And so you guys heard it, but guess what? You guys ran with Masicka. You guys chose Masicka all along. When he was going on so many interviews, he was calling out Alkaline, and he was dissing Alkaline and doing all of these type of things. You guys knew that all along. You knew that he was raised well and he's not about that life, but it was okay then. Now that he brought Jashi on stage to take a job at Vybz Kartel and the Crowning, you guys came at Jashi. However, when Masicka came out clarifying it, it backfired on him. Now you guys are going to come out and say that he's this and he's that and he's a clown, he's a punk. You didn't know that all along? You guys supported the music. You guys played his music. You supported him all along, knowing that he was never about that life. And so this is what I do not like with people. You will egg on and cheer on a moment for the person because they're saying what you want them to say. As Alkaline would say, you want them to say Gaza, and they actually end up saying it. They actually end up promoting Gaza, being a part of Gaza movement. And so you guys support them regardless of their background, regardless of who they are, as long as they're making clout, as long as they can diss Alkaline as a rites of passage, as long as they can say shady things about Alkaline, comment shady things, support people who are disrespecting Alkaline. As long as they can do that, then you guys are supporting them. So you guys people are hypocrites just the same. All of you are supporters of Masicka and Masicka's music. So all of a sudden, you're going to come out and you're going to say all of this. You're going to say that he's fake, he's not about the life, he's so crooks, he's soft, he's nothing to fear, and all of these type of things when you knew who he was all along. But because he was saying what you wanted him to say, it was okay for him to come out and put out so much bad man tune, diss so many people, as long as it's not the world boss that he's dissing. So you guys are hypocrites. So coming out and saying that he was raised well and he did this and his father owned this and all of that, and sneak this in him, saying that you're not gonna speak on his family, but you're actually doing that, then it just shows that you guys are no better than Masicka. You guys are no better than Masicka. Am I going to go out there and try to be on his side or save him? Absolutely not. I do not have a dog in this fight. However, I'm looking at things from a perspective that you guys supported this individual. You helped to push him straight to the top. He was always calling himself a young king. And I do not know what the hell is wrong with black men and this king argument. All king are rapists, that's number one. All king plunder. You understand? Because nobody's going to tell them no. You understand? That's what the life they are. They believe in royalty, sleeping with family members and all these type of things. So I'm not sure why you guys want to take on that persona so bad. You understand? Because nobody can tell a king no, really. If he wants to lie with a man or a woman, nobody's going to tell him no. Else they will be beheaded. And that's usually the nature of kings. Even though you have some who were noble or some were humble, some were favored by the mass of the people, it makes no difference. If he wants a wife, he's going to take a wife, even if it's somebody else's wife. So I'm not sure why you guys want to be king, king, king without a kingdom. We're all living in the white man's kingdom, but that's another story for another day. I'm speaking on what is taking place right now in dancehall, and everybody coming at Masicka. Everybody is daunting. Everybody's coming down on him and attacking him, going after him. But you guys knew what he was about all along. And you played with it because it was okay as long as he was disrespecting Alkaline, as long as he was coming for Alkaline. It's only a pity that he really does not have the backbone to stand 10 toes down. I think that is what really irked a lot of people, but more so from the Gaza end, they believe that, okay, it was really a diss to Vybz Kartel and you sanction it to make Jashi said what he said. And so instead of going after Jashi, they're going after you. So it actually backfired on Masicka. But at the end of the day, so many of you can't know all of this information about the guy, and you were cheering him on all along. And now that, you know, you believe that he sanctioned the sub or the job that Jashi took, then all of a sudden, okay, he was raised well, this guy's well polished, this guy was groomed. First of all, we don't even know the dynamic when it comes to the relationship between him and his father. His father can be a rich man, but his son is very poor. Or his father can be a rich man, but his son wasn't doing well. Unfortunately for Masicka, he came out and willfully admit that he was a rich from he was in his 20s. So we can't say that. We can't say that he was really estranged from his father because he was doing well. Those are his words, not mine. I'm not making up a story on him. Those are his words. So you have to be careful of what you put out there. And when I speak about a charlatan, you have to understand that these people do exist. And here is one in the finest form. Masicka really is a to-do guy, came up well. He just pushing this glorification of badmanism, badman culture through his songs, that is. But he doesn't have any experience of it. He doesn't know anything about it. And he, like I said, he can be just a talented individual. A talented individual who can write and, you know, is lyrical. However, he's really, you know, raised well, and that's it. And it happens. There are so many producers out there that are violent producers, but when you check their background, they were actually raised well, just the same. These individuals were raised well. And so this is the reason people always say the movers and shakers are the most destructive people in this society, because they have the power, they have the brains, they have the wits, they have the power to misguide people, and that's what they do. But when we come and say Vybz Kartel misguide or mislead the youths, you guys want to defend it and want to attack people. But it's so bad when a politician does it, when someone else who is in a position of power do it. But when Vybz Kartel does it, then there's an excuse at all time. You understand? And these are the things that we speak on. The society and a lot of people are very hypocritical, just as anybody else out there. As long as it's someone who you like, they are free. There's an excuse and there's always a justification for their behavior. But when it's someone that you don't like, you want to hold them accountable, you want to hold them to the fire, and they should take responsibility for whatever actions out there that you deem illegal, immoral, you understand, or even unethical. But when it comes to who you like, okay, there's a justification, there's always an excuse for bad behavior. So Masicka is very misleading. Yes, you understand? So is your Gaza boss. I guess that's why he said Gaza. Anyway, and if he's really not about that life, he's one clever dude. That's all I can say. Is this the end of the rope for him? No, if he knows how to strategize, if he tap into Alkaline element and know how to strategize, or tap into Vybz Kartel element and use controversy, know how to use controversy, get some people in his corner, then he can sail off into the sunset and pass all of them. However, I don't think his wits goes that far. However, anything is possible. You understand? So do I think it's the end of the road for him? No. But I do know that he was smart enough. If he was misleading the people and pushing one image, but he's not about that life, he was smart enough not to do 13 years in prison. He was smart enough not to record the conspiracy to commit murder. So that's what we know. So if such is the case then, and he's misleading the people or the mass of the people, at least it was through his music. It wasn't through anything else. So kudos to Masicka. Kudos to Masicka. I'm sorry, not sorry. We are going there. we are taking a very long ride and we're going to the end of the earth with this. You guys supported this individual. You guys promoted him when he was going against Caledo. You guys supported him. I don't know what Caledo did, but you guys went and supported him. And you know who was behind this too? Bounty Killer. Because Foota High had said it that Bounty Killer took Masicka and did a song with Masicka. Yet Caledo was from his camp. Caledo was from his alliance camp, but then he went ahead and took Masicka and did a song with Masicka. So it goes to show you how conniving a lot of these people really are. And you being the mass of the people, we're never looking that deep into something. Or, let me use present continuous tense, are not looking that deep into something because it's something that you guys are still doing. You still walk with a veil over your eyes. You still don't want to see the truth for what it is. And if it even exists, you make excuses and justification for it. And that's the issue that we're having. So kudos to Masicka. If he was a charlatan all along, he can change course. He can get more people in his corner and do some creative things around it. Yes, it can happen. It can happen. He can strategize, pull in Alkaline element. He can start controversy, pull in Vybz Kartel element, and it will work for him. There's nothing that you guys can do once you know how to do it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you.